Hello everyone, Zio on this side. So today hand we are starting with a new topic called as body fluids and circulation. Okay, so let's get started. Here, starting with the first thing first called as blood. So blood is a special connective tissue, or blood is also called as fluid connective tissue, consisting of a fluid matrix, plasma, and formed elements. Okay, these formed elements are the blood cells, which are RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. Okay, deal with. Now, starting with the first thing first called as plasma, or what we call as a blood plasma. Okay, now, so plasma is a straw colored, here, and the straw colored means it is pale yellow. Okay, it is pale yellow. Plasma is a straw colored or pale yellow viscous fluid, which means it contains water. Viscous fluid constituting nearly 55% of the blood, which means like the plasma is, if the plasma is 55%, then the remaining portions will be 45%. Okay, deal with. Now, 90 to 92% of the plasma is water. Please do remember the case that the 90 to 92% of the plasma is water, and the proteins contribute 6 to 8% of it. The proteins which are present in the plasma are called as plasma proteins, which are contributing 6 to 8% of it. And what are the proteins of the plasma? So they are the fibrinogen, globulin, and the albumin. 3. Fibrinogen, globulins, and albumins are the major proteins which constitute the plasma. So the first is fibrinogen. So the fibrinogen is needed for the blood clotting or the coagulation of the blood. Rather, this fibrinogen is the inactive form, and the active form is fibrin. Like whenever we are adding the suffix as "gen", which means it is inactive form of anything, or like if we can add with the prefix as well, that will be pro. In some words, like the prefix is pro is added, and here like the suffix "gen" has been added. So fibrinogen is the inactive form of the fibrin. Please do remember the case. Okay. Now the second one is the globulin, and the globulins, which are primarily involved in defense mechanism of the body. The globulins are primarily involved in the defense mechanism of the body, specifically the alpha, the beta, and the gamma globulin. Alpha, beta, and the gamma. Okay, these are the globulins which are primarily involved in the defense mechanism of the body. Okay, now, and the albumin helps in the osmotic balance. Albumins are helping in the osmotic balance. Okay, deal with the case, which means like the salt water balance or the salt water retention in the body. Plasma also contains a small amount of minerals like sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, and chloride ions. Sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, and the chloride ions. Okay, deal with the case. And glucose, amino acids, lipids, etc., 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 which means these all three are what we call them as, LPC. What does this LPC means? This L is for the lipid, this P is for the protein, and this C is for the carbohydrate. So deal with the case. Okay, now, so on an average, sodium, calcium, magnesium, bicarbonate, chloride, glucose, amino acid, and the lipids are present in the plasma, as they are always in the transit in the body, which means they are always in the circulation. They are always in the circulation in the body. Okay, now, the factors for coagulation or clotting of the blood are also present in the plasma. There are a lot of different factors, starting from factor number 1 up to factor number 13. So you can deal with factor number 1 to factor number 13. Factor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Actually, there are 12 factors, but still like the factor number 6 is not there. So ultimately, that is the reason why we have to deal with the factor number 13. Okay, deal with. So the factors for coagulation or clotting of the blood are also present in the plasma in an inactive form. In the inactive form, which means like the thrombin will be present in the inactive form called as prothrombin, having the prefix as pro, whereas the fibrinogen or the fibrin will be in the inactive form called as fibrinogen. Okay, plasma without clotting factor is called as serum. Plasma without the clotting factor is called as serum. So if I'll be writing here like the plasma minus clotting factor will be is equal to serum. Please deal with the case. Plasma minus clotting factor will be equal to serum. So whenever we are getting an injury and whenever the bleeding stops, white transparent substance comes out of the place of the injury, and that is not the plasma, rather that is the serum, because the clotting factor has been used for clotting the blood. So that transparent liquid will be called as serum because the clotting factor has been used there for clotting the blood. Okay, so this was all about the plasma. Now we are starting with the formed element. The formed elements are the the three cells which are present in the blood called as RBCs, WBCs, and the platelets. Okay, so let's get started. First thing first, it is the erythrocytes or the red blood cells, or somehow like I'm sorry, I'll be calling them as red blood corpuscles because they are divide of the nucleus. And if the cell is not having the nucleus, you can't call it as a cell, you have to call it as corpuscle. Okay, or the short form is simple RBCs. So here, a normal adult man and a normal human woman have 5 to 4.5 million RBCs per cubic millimeter of the blood respectively. Per cubic millimeter of the blood. Okay, deal with. Now, the less amount of the hemoglobin leads to anemia, which may be caused by the loss of blood or the destruction of RBCs. Okay, anemia, which is caused by loss of the either the loss of the blood or the destruction of the RBCs. So ultimately, the organs will not be receiving the enough amount of oxygen. They won't be able to receive the enough amount of oxygen. Now, an abnormal increase in the RBC count is called as polycythemia. Abnormal increase, somehow like I'll be writing in this function. Abnormal increase in the RBCs will be causing polycythemia. Okay, or the decrease in the number of the RBCs, decreased number of the RBCs will be called as erythrocytopenia. It will be called as erythrocytopenia, which cause shortage in the blood and the tissue. Now the shape of the RBCs. So basically they are biconcave. They are disc shaped, enucleated, reddish color cells. So they do not have nucleus. They do not have nucleus. They are reddish colored cell because of the presence of the hemoglobin. They have the diameter of 7 to 8 micron or the micrometer and 1 to 2 micron thick. Red color is because of the hemoglobin, as we have discussed earlier. Now, the hemoglobin is a conjugate protein which is made up of protein called as globin and a non-protein group called as heme. The globin and the heme here. Hence the name hemoglobin has been given. Okay. Do remember one thing, that the hemoglobin is a tetrameric protein which is made up of chain has been synthesized from the number 16, whereas a beta chain has been synthesized from the chromosome number 11. This question they have asked already. So deal with the case. Okay. Now, the hemoglobin is oxygen carrying pigment. Yes, we do know. The 100 ml of blood of a normal man contains 15 gram of hemoglobin, and of a normal woman and on average 13 gram of hemoglobin. Okay. Please deal with the structure of the hemoglobin as well. Here, please deal 1, 2, 3 and 4. And do remember that these all four are having oxygen, O2, O2, O2 and O2. And in the central position we have CO2 here. Okay, so the binding site of the oxygen and the carbon dioxide are different. Now, erythropoiesis. Erythropoiesis is the process by which the red blood cells are produced. In human adult, this usually occurs within the bone marrow. Within the bone marrow. Do remember, or specifically if I'll be going through in the red bone marrow. Okay. Now, the life of the RBCs is 120 days. The life of the RBC is 120 days. And the worn out or the discarded RBCs are destroyed in the spleen and the liver. They are destroyed in the spleen and the liver. Do remember one thing, that the spleen is called as graveyard of RBCs. It is called as graveyard of RBCs. Here the spleen word is. Okay. Now, the iron or the heme group is again retained or it is returned to the red bone marrow for reuse in the synthesis of fresh hemoglobin. Which means if an RBC has been worn out, so ultimately the hemoglobins will be eventually they will be discarded. But still, what the spleen or the liver will be doing, they'll be just removing the iron or the heme group from the hemoglobin, and they'll be giving it back to the red bone marrow, and the red bone marrow will be attaching a new fresh heme group, a fresh like the remaining heme group with the fresh globin protein formation of the new hemoglobin. Now the pigment is degraded to the yellowish pigment bilirubin, which is excreted in the bile. Okay, deal with an extra thing like the out of box, but still like it is quite important for you guys, that the ESR, erythrocyte sedimentation rate. If the blood containing an anticoagulant which is allowed to stand in a narrow vertical tube, the erythrocytes settle to the bottom half of the tube. The anticoagulant is called as, it is like artificial anticoagulant called as oxalate. So ultimately the rate at which this occurs is called as erythrocyte sedimentation rate. Okay, and it is responsible, or it is very useful in diagnosis of various diseases including the tuberculosis. You can check it out. And the normal ESR in the men is 0 to 5 mm per hour, and in women it is 0.0 to 7 mm per hour. You can check it out. Okay, now this was all about the RBCs. Now starting with the case called as WBCs, or the leukocytes. Now we can call them as cells. How come? Because they do have nucleus. So we can call white blood corpuscles as well, or we can call directly white blood cells. Now here, so what the WBCs are? They are colorless, active and mobile, nucleated blood corpuscles with a number of 7,000 plus or minus 3,500 mm cube. You can check them out. Okay, now the leukocytes are of two types, granulocytes and agranulocyte. What does a granulocyte means? Which means they are having granules. Okay, and agranulocytes will be, they do not have any kind of granule. So the life of the granulocyte is normally 40 to 8 hours circulating in the blood, and another 4 to 5 days in the tissue. Okay, deal with the monocytes have a short lifespan of 10 to 20 hours. The lymphocyte have the lifespan of few days to a month or year somehow, but still on an average we'll be calling as 5 to 10 days. Okay, go through. Now the granulocytes are of three types: neutrophil, basophil and the eosinophil. Neutrophil, basophil and the eosinophil, while agranulocyte will be monocyte and the lymphocyte. Now dealing with the neutrophils. So here the neutrophils have granules, yes they do have, and they are stained with a neutral dye. As the name is suggesting, philia means attraction, and if the name is neutrophil, which means they will be stained by a neutral dye. Okay, now they have a nucleus which is 2 to 7 lobed. The nucleus of the neutrophils will be 2 to 7 lobed and almost circular. Okay, and 60% of the all leukocyte is neutrophil. 60% of the all leukocyte is neutrophil, and the function of the neutrophil is they are phagocytic in nature. They are phagocytic in nature. Now dealing with the eosinophils. Here, they are coarse granules that get stained with the acidic dyes. The eosinophils are getting stained with the acidic dyes. Do remember one thing, that if they are getting stained by the acidic dye, which means they have the nature of base. Okay, they have the basic nature. That is the reason they are getting stained by the acidic dye. Please do remember these cases as well, that the opposite attracts. Bright red with cosine. So ultimately that is what the eosine color means. The nucleus is bilobed. Okay, their size is 10 to 14 micron, and they are 2 to 3% of the total leukocyte. Okay? And if the case is in asthma, they will be increased. So deal with the case. Eosinophil, they are basically they are in the allergic condition. Eosinophils will be seen in the allergic condition. So deal with. Now basophils. So here the basophils They are fewer coarse granules stained with the basic dye, that is the methylene blue. The nucleus is S-shaped and three-lobed. They are 0.5 to 1% of the total leukocyte count. Okay. They are also seen in the allergic reaction and they release the histamine, also the heparin and the serotonin. Please do remember that the secretion of basophils is histamine, heparin, and the serotonin. Hopefully, you do know about the serotonin. It's a type of neurotransmitter, whereas the heparin is an anticoagulant, and the histamine is responsible in the immune reactions. Okay. Now, the basic form of amino acid histidine is the histamine. Now, dealing with the lymphocyte, the large nucleus with the granule free pale blue cytoplasm, 30% of the total leukocytes. It manufactures the globins, some of which functions as antibodies or what we call as Igs. We call them as Igs, correct? Immunoglobulins. So here, lymphocytes have a size of 7 to 10 micron. They have a size of 7 to 10 micron, and the nucleus stains more deeply with the basic dyes. The nucleus stains more deeply with the basic dyes than surrounding the cytoplasm. So ultimately, if you have the cell, like the nucleus will be stained more properly by the basic dyes. The large lymphocyte have 10 to 14 micrometer. Nucleus stains more deeply with the basic dyes than surrounding cytoplasm, but still larger lymphocytes have. On the basis of the maturation, on the basis of the maturation, two kinds are there. That the lymphocyte types. There are two types, that the B lymphocyte and the T lymphocyte. B and the T, or what we call them as the bursa and the thymus. Bursa and thymus. Bursa and the thymus. You can check them out. B is for the bursa and T is for the thymus. Okay, deal with. Now, the last but not the least one, it is the monocyte. So the monocyte is the largest leukocyte. Monocyte is the largest leukocyte, 10 to 18 micrometer. They are kidney shaped nucleus. They have the kidney shaped nucleus, 5 to 6% of the total leukocyte count. They are motile and they are phagocytic, which means they have engulfing property, which means they have engulfing property, or rather what we call as scavenger. The production of interleukins and the pyrogen is related with the monocytes. IL, they are called as interleukins. Okay, interleukins. Now the last but not the least one, properly the third formed element called as thrombocyte or the blood platelets. There are about 250,000 platelets in a cubic mm of blood. In a cubic mm of blood, you can check them out. Increase and the decrease in the number of the platelet is known as thrombocytosis is the increase, whereas thrombocytopenia is the decrease. Okay, they are rounded or oval disc-like bodies. The platelets are 2 to 3 micron in diameter and they are colorless. Okay, now the platelets are formed from the megakaryocytes, which are very large cells of the bone marrow. Please do remember they are formed from the megakaryocytes. Okay, the formation of the thrombocytes is called as thrombopoiesis, just like the formation of the RBCs is called as erythropoiesis. Formation of the erythrocytes is called as erythropoiesis. So the formation of the thrombocytes is called as thrombopoiesis. The normal lifespan of the blood platelet is about a week, okay, 7 days. When an injury is caused, the blood platelets release certain chemicals which are called as a platelet factors or thromboplastin. The platelet factor help in the clotting of blood. We'll be having an extra lecture on the blood clotting proper, like the blood coagulation or the blood clotting, and we'll be going through how the different factors are functioning. The factor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So like roundly, wholly, solely, there will be 12 factor, but still like the factor number 6 is absent. So ultimately the number will be reaching up to the 13th. So this was all about the introductory portion of the circulatory system. We have checked about the complete blood and now we'll be going for the further detailed study. Okay. Hopefully this lecture has been beneficial for you guys. Thank you. Thank you very much for your so much support. If you do have any kind of questions, you can ask me there in the comment section. Please do ask if you have any question. Thank you.